Hey, what's the crack? This game was an absolute pain to get the platinum for, all because of the amount of times I've had to play it. And if I have to hear Leon say, shit, they took my gear one more time, I might actually lose my mind. Also, there will be some spoilers for this game. So, pain and all as it was, I did still enjoy myself, because there's nothing more fun than blowing up every enemy with a rocket launcher. But it wasn't always fun with rockets. Some of the stuff was quite hard to accomplish. But I am getting a bit ahead of myself, so let's take it back a bit and I'll tell you about the game. Starting with the main character, Leon. And he's been trained up a lot since the second one. And he's here on a super secret mission to rescue someone very important. And that brings him to this island where chiropractors are never needed. Leon's mission is to rescue someone. My mission is to get all the trophies. And we're going to start with the first one, Revolt Against the Revolting. And this is for getting the first of 16 castellans throughout the game. They're the equivalent to the Mr. Everywhere in number 7 or the Mr. Raccoon in number 2. Leon does get captured, but not to worry because we earn a trophy called Knife Basics, and it's acquired for parrying an enemy with a knife. I don't know what quite happened here because it looks like your man got confused for a second. I'd love to know what Leon has taken where he can walk off getting his leg caught in a bear trap. Mind you, this is a game where some fella can sell you stuff randomly throughout the game. And speaking of the merchant, he grants us another trophy. Nice one, stranger. And it's for completing a request that he gives us. And he is not done giving us trophies just yet with this next one, my preferred, Peace. And this trophy is simply got just by upgrading any one of your weapons. No matter how much I upgraded my weapons though, I would never be as good as these boys here. I wonder how much they practiced that move. And while I'm on the topic of the villagers, does anyone else think they're so dramatic? Like, why was she hiding just randomly there? But let's move on to the next trophy I unlocked, which was Shield Your Eyes. And how you get this trophy is by unaliving 3 enemies at once with a flash grenade. And the easiest way to do this is crows. And I found this was the easiest and best place to earn this trophy. And of course, like you would do on a strange island full of enemies, you'll take a little break to practice your shooting. And of course, earn another trophy called Amateur Shooter, which is just for completing one of the shooting ranges in the game. I don't think it would matter how much time I spent at the shooting range. My aim would always be terrible. Sweet Jesus, that was bad. Back on the main mission and dealing with the villagers once again, I did come up with a question. Who set up these bombs? Because I really don't think it was the villagers. And with the villagers finally dealt with, we moved on to bigger fish. Literally, for the next trophy, Harpoon Hurdler. And how you can gain this trophy is by channeling your inner pirate and you fire harpoons until that big fish in the sea is gone to the big aquarium in the sky. And the creatures don't stop with just the water, because then we come across whatever in the nightmare inducing shite is that. And then I somehow came across what I look like going to get a snack at 2 o'clock in the morning, or just me in general any time of the day. And then finally, after all that run around, we finally come across Ashley, who is the reason why we are here. And little do either of them know that the fun is just beginning. And luckily enough, our next trophy involved Ashley, and it was called Talk About a Near-Death Experience. This will not be the last time this happens, but how this trophy is gained is by shooting the guy that's carrying Ashley away until he drops her. And to be honest, with my aim, I was surprised I could hit him. We then finally get properly introduced to the character Luis, where I'm fairly sure Leon was trying to impress him, going all John Wick style with the gun. Lewis and I then go our separate ways, but not to worry, we make a new friend who is also going to help us get our next trophy. And that trophy he helps us get is called Grilled Big Cheese. And something really weird happened that I've never seen before. The trophy popped twice. Has anyone else ever seen this? Because I've never seen anything like that. But how you earn this trophy is by taking out your new friend. And taking his life is not the only thing you take, because you also get to take his eye for some reason. Well, the reason is money, but it's still weird. On to the next trophy that was acquired, and it was Bandit. And this is for collecting every treasure in the village. And I must say that some of these treasures are really well hidden, and I wonder why. Like, if you lose that key, you're not getting that jewelry back. And then I was on to a new area of the game, the castle, which is probably the most frustrating part of this game just because of how many times Ashley can get knocked down by the catapults. But it was alright in the end because I got my revenge getting this next trophy, Overkill, which is acquired for using a cannon against one of the enemies. And it's just too bad I couldn't use this a bit more, because I could have used it for this next enemy. But if I did, I wouldn't have got the trophy, never heard it coming. And the way to unlock this trophy is by using your knife to take down what I can only describe as if Wolverine and Bane had had a baby. This enemy must have heard or saw me taking out the enemy before, because he's trying to run away. And where in the name of Christ do you think you're going? Home, is it? After dealing with them enemies, Leon and Ashley move on, and of course, Leon gets captured, leaving us to play as Ashley. But she doesn't get a gun. No, she gets a lantern. And then of course, Ashley gets captured just in time for Leon to free himself and come across the Wolverine Bane hybrid things. But they're not even enough to stop Leon becoming a capitalist with this next trophy, Astute Appraiser, which is got for selling a treasure for 100,000 pesetas. And the only way you can get a treasure worth 100,000 is inlaying all the different colored gems into the elegant crown. And then I got what I think is probably the most alien inspired trophy I've ever seen. Wave goodbye, right hand. And I think this is an alien setting because what you have to do to get it is take on this creature and beat him. And just look at your surroundings and the creature. Lewis comes back to help us try and rescue Ashley, and we go on a fun little ride. And while on this adventure with Lewis, I acquired my next trophy. Hope you like thrill rides. And you get this for making sure you take absolutely no damage to the minecart while in it. And that means you have to avoid crossbow wielding lunatics and sack wearing chainsaw wielding weirdos. And this is not only done once, you have to do this twice. And after that, it made me realize that my weapons weren't up to scratch, so I decided to get my next trophy to help with it, a masterpiece. And this trophy's got for giving your weapon the exclusive upgrade. Getting that upgrade did absolutely nothing to help me get this next trophy, capacity compliance. And the way I earned this trophy was by keeping everyone off the elevator while I'm on it till it reaches the top. And that's easier said than done because this trophy can be very frustrating to get. But then I acquired a much less infuriating trophy, Raider. And this trophy was gained for collecting all the treasures throughout the castle part of the game. I then had to go and do a boss fight. But before I beat him, I had to prove a point by getting the trophy, You Talk Too Much. And you get this trophy because the boss talks too much and you fire a grenade into his monster mouth. So it would be something like this, but without missing. Somehow I missed, I don't know. And then I got the inevitable trophy that you always get for beating a boss, called No Thanks Bro. And it's for, like I said, beating the boss. But just cause we beat that boss doesn't mean the game is over, cause he was only one of many. I then made my way down to the basement and found what I can only describe as raw chicken with teeth. But the walking salmonellas do help me get my next trophy with 2 bugs, 1 stone. And this trophy is gained by clearing out 2 parasites with 1 bullet from the walking nightmares. After the raw chickens with teeth are dealt with, we finally get to rescue Ashley once again. I hope you didn't think we were done with the gun range just yet, because there's 2 more trophies I needed to get from it. Starting with the first one, Trick Shot. And this trophy is definitely harder than it sounds. To get it, you have to shoot 5 targets at once with 1 bullet at the shooting range. And if you just use the shooting course with the gaggle of dogs, you'll be well able to get this trophy. And then after spending an ungodly amount of time on the game and at the shooting course, I got the trophy Real Deadeye, and it's for getting an S rank at all the shooting courses at the shooting range. And I suppose spending that much time shooting in this game, I got very good at it, as you can tell. I did say if we weren't done with the bosses yet, which leads into my next trophy, You Used to Be a Good Guy. And this trophy is obtained by defeating your old training officer, Jack Krauser. And then after spending way too much time on his own, he finally gets a bit of backup from the man himself, Mike. And as soon as Mike arrives, he's gone again, because apparently everyone in this world, except for a few people, just can't complete a full job. And speaking of completing full jobs, that's where my next trophy is, Jack of All Trades, and it's for completing every merchant request. And some of them merchant requests were absolutely wild, because they ranged from taking down the TMNT's leader to taking down a knight in shining armor. But back to the present, where we rescued Ashley once and for all. I swear at this point she should just rent out the bad guy's hideout. I swear, Leon spent half the time looking for her and the other half collecting treasures. Speaking of which, that leads to my other trophy, Burglar. And this trophy is obtained by collecting all the treasures on the island part of the game. I feel like this is deja vu, but onto a trophy where I feel like I'm not going to repeat myself, called Your Small Time. And the trophy is earned by defeating the final boss of this game. The place is about to explode, everything's falling apart, people are dying, but of course there's time to get a trophy. Revolutionary Windup, and is for destroying all 16 castellans. And that's not the only trophy I managed to acquire on my way out the door. I also got Smooth Escape, and is for making your escape on the water scooter without taking any damage. And that was the end of my first run. So now we're going on to the second one, which is New Game Plus. which means I get to keep all my weapons, but I'll only be using 2. And the reason for that is the trophy called Minimalist. And the only way you can acquire that trophy is by using only handguns and knives. And this was another trophy that I thought would be a massive pain, but it actually wasn't that bad. And another difference with this playthrough was apparently the animals were on my side for a change. Maybe it was because every playthrough I did, I always rescued the dog, just because he looked like a good puppers. Minimalist was one of the trophies I got, but it wasn't the only one I got in that run. I also got the trophy Sprinter, which was for completing the game in 8 hours or less. And then I got what was probably one of the strangest trophies in this game, Silent Stranger. And how I unlocked this trophy was by having no interaction whatsoever with the stranger throughout this playthrough. And then it was on to the third playthrough, which was probably one of the most fun because I got to use an unlimited rocket launch. And I only got one trophy this time around, and it was Promising Agent. And it was for completing the main story on standard difficulty. And because I like doing things the hard way, I decided to get 3 trophies in one here, starting with probably the hardest one, Frugalist, which was for finishing up the game without using any healing items, and I decided to do it on Professional. And then there was the trophy Proficient Agent, which was for completing the game on hardcore difficulty or higher. And I did it on Professional, which means I got the trophy Peerless Agent, which was for finishing the game on Professional difficulty. Don't ask me why I didn't just get all 3 agent trophies in one, because I really don't know. I guess I was in just a silly goofy mood. And now I have to do another playthrough, but this time it's not going to be on New Game Plus. We start from the very start. But it's not too bad because I do manage to unlock a trophy that will help. Gun Fanatic, which is for unlocking all the weapons in the game. And that means you have to collect them throughout the main story, buying them from the Strange Merchant. And there is also 3 weapons you cannot get in the main game. You have to go to the extras menu to get them. But you do have to complete challenges to unlock them. They're not unlocked from the start. And with all the weapons unlocked, I found it quite easy to get this next trophy, S+ rank Investigator, which was for finishing the game on a fresh save on hardcore mode difficulty, getting an S+ rank, which means I finished the game in less than 5.5 hours. And after completing that game mode, I unlocked what was probably the best hat in the game, the chicken hat. And once me and my chicken hat finished the game, the trophy Mission Accomplished S+ unlocked, which means I finished the game on standard difficulty, getting an S+ rank, which is finishing the game in 5 hours. And with all the other trophies unlocked, it finally meant I got the Platinum trophy. And I thought it was one of the better named Platinum trophies I've seen in a while. And now I'm going to rate the game, and I'll give it a solid 6 out of 10 for the difficulty. And most of the difficulty does come from the time constraints that you're given for some of the trophies, because you have to finish the game in 5.5 hours or 5 hours or less. But once you learn the layouts, you're pretty much good to go. So this is the end of the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, leave a like. I hope you have a great day, and goodbye.